Good morning, guys. Automotive Inquiries here. Got a request to do a video on the things I like about the 7.3 Godzilla versus the other vehicles that I've had, and the things I don't like or would like to see. All right. So first things first, on the way to the company store this morning, I'll just snap this video. All right, so Ford is known for their keypad on the door. That's one of my favorite features on this truck. Usually you get it at XLT and higher, but you can add it to others. And my understanding is you can put it even on GM products and stuff, but that's gonna be an aftermarket thing. So how that blends with the rest of the truck, I don't know. But man, I love that feature because when you're out camping, you don't want your keys with you. You can hide them in the truck and unlock it from the outside. Just got to remember that simple little code. You can also unlock it so you run out to the truck in the evening and you're wearing your comfy clothes or whatever, and you go out there and you're like, I forgot the key. Just pop the door open. Nobody has to go back in. So I like that. Piggyback on that, I also like the remote access that Ford gives you. So Ram right now is doing that as a delete, probably because the semiconductor shortage or whatnot. But me personally, I would not get a truck if it had that deleted service. The reason being is because you can do so much with that connected service when it comes to vehicle over-the-air updates, remote starting the vehicle, and locking, checking where it's at, and seeing how it's feeling. So Ford gives you the basic remote access features, which are quite a bit. Remote lock, remote start from anywhere you want, check on the vehicle status for free. So that may change at some point in the future, but right now that is a win, man, because you don't even need remote start on your key fob. All right. Next thing, I like the way Ford designed these Super Duty running boards. They have a back little area that's covering that so you can't get moisture from underneath the truck coming up and freezing, and on the outside. So these boards stay cleaner than just about any other board I've ever had on a truck. All right. All right, another feature I do like is right here, this infotainment system. Even the larger one, that's the 12-incher, I like the ease of use, all right? I'm a country boy. I don't like to play with a lot of tech. I'm here to do the meat and potatoes and stuff. I like the tech. I like the idea of it, but some of the stuff is so hard to use. I had the new Chrysler Uconnect 5. Man, that thing was horrible to use. It took a whole learning curve and everything like that. The Chevy one's fairly easy to use, but not a lot of embedded features. So I really enjoy how easy they made this sync system in here. And Ford's always been known for it. Is it overly flashy? Nope. But on the bigger screens with the built-in nav, it offers so much. It's just really cool. So I love the ease of use, and it's easy for me to walk through those screens, set up this screen down here. So I do really enjoy that. All right, I've talked about it in my other videos. Right down there, you probably can't see it because it's going to be blurry. Auto high beams. One of my favorite features. This comes standard in work truck and up. That is fantastic. And I just think a lot of people should get that back into their trucks or added. So next thing right there is my range selector. I've talked about in the other videos. I tow for a living. I'm a truck driver now. I've been doing that for quite a few years. I like knowing what gear I'm in those semis, and I like knowing what gear I'm in my pickup, especially because then I can just toggle over here and limit those gears. I don't want to just know I have 3 gears. I want to know where I'm having them selected. So good job on that there, Ford. I think the ride quality in this pickup is really good. Even in my F-350 it was good. Even in my 08 dually F-350, fairly good for as big as heavy as that truck was. I did like that. I also like the ride height in this truck. I think it's pretty good. It puts you up high enough, but you can see over the hood. It slants down. The Chevy hood, you kind of sit down in the Chevy and the hood comes up. A little bit harder for my shorter wife to see out the hood, so she never felt comfortable driving that Chevy Custom. So I do appreciate that. And overall, like I said, this truck does remind you you're driving a truck, but I do enjoy the actual ride quality. It doesn't just beat you up. My Ram 3500, that thing rode like a truck, all right. And by the end of your trip, you were happy to be taking a break or camping for the night. All right, I talked about this in my other videos. Standard features on the Ford are safety tech. So I got front crash alert and vehicle cutout. So it basically cuts the power out if you were to not be slowing down in this car right here, jammed on this brakes and I wasn't slowing down. It will help mitigate that. It does not stop it, but it does do that. Standard. Auto high beams, that's kind of a safety feature. I like that. Blind spot monitoring those mirrors, I like that. Okay, that's standard. And then Bliss, which is not only the backup camera, but that is for cross traffic behind you. Again, you have to pull into a spot at Walmart, and here comes somebody in their Prius flipping around the lane. You don't see them. This lets you know, on the screen right here, if it's coming from the left, there'll be an arrow, and it'll be beeping, and it'll be shining right there. In addition to that, standard rear park assist, so it beeps as you get close to stuff. So again, I just think that when you're paying this much money for a truck, it's nice to have those features. And if you don't like them, of course, you can turn them off. But that Chevy I had over the weekend, that LTZ, didn't even have it. So, just come on. Next, on the FX4, I do enjoy these Goodyear Wrangler tires. So when you get an FX4 package, you do get a little bit more aggressive looking tire, not overly aggressive, but a good tire versus the standard Michelin on the Ford. So if you don't get an FX4, you'll get a Michelin Load Range G tire. I'm not a fan of Michelins, never have been. I've had them on lots of trucks. They wear out pretty quick, and in some vehicles, they've just been kind of road noise or whiny, if you will. All right, let's see here. Another thing, and this is going to be a real simple little doodad here. So I like this sliding cup holder. I mean, in a truck, it's just nice because if you have a big coffee mug here, or say a big, jug for the gym, it's just nice to have that ability. Or Gatorade will actually fit in here, and I like that. And then you have the 4, you still put your cell phone in there and stuff like that. And then when you're done, you just slide it out of the way. It's my understanding that's probably going to go away for 24. That's kind of a bummer. But do enjoy all the little ambient lighting that's throughout this cabin. It's nothing in the doors that you get on the Lariat, but I do like that it's a lighter colored interior, and it's the light that when you actually turn on the lights you can see in here. The Chevy with the dark black interior was really hard to see. And then last but not least, who wouldn't like this? The Godzilla. Big block American V8. Got good stock sound. Awesome horsepower. We got drive modes that we can select to get better fuel economy if we want. Good engine braking, and then actually decent miles per gallon. So I actually appreciate that, because this truck, even in the city, gets about 14.5. That's what I about average throughout the time I've had it. And I have been remote starting it quite a bit for those days before and after work. Going to the gym, I remote start all the time from my remote access app that I love. So, it's actually really good. And compared to the 454s I've had many moon ago, an 8.1 502 that Chevy had, that thing, gas guzzler. But I knew that, it's just nice that this is respectable, even better than the V10s that we have at work, and better than the V10s I had in my Ram. So the list of things that I dislike about the truck are actually very, very short. This truck has no rattles. We're only a couple thousand miles in, but it's been really good. It's really comfortable. But things that I would definitely want is, like the Ram, you get push button start from the tradesman up, but it's not necessarily where you can walk up, touch the handle, and open the door. I like that feature. I had that on my Lariat and on my F-150. I'd like to see that come in or be an option at the XLT level, but I know that it does come in at the Lariat level, but it's still not standard, which is, I like that feature. I don't like taking my keys out of my pocket because I got more crap in there than I'll ever need, and so usually the chapstick falls out, rolls underneath the truck, something else, coins and stuff fall out. I just rather not. But first world problem, right? Next thing we have is I'd like to see, especially on the HD trucks, the standard long range tank. So on my 08 diesel, my 6.4, it had a 38 gallon tank in it, and I had a Transflow tank put in the back. Gave me another 40 gallons because that thing loved diesel. And so, especially when I was doing the regens, it used diesel in that particular burn-off feature versus DEF, because it was pre-DEF. And that was a must. However, it did act as a toolbox on the top. So I was still able to carry some stuff in it and then lock it, but it never came out. So if you wanted access to that full bed, which was 8 foot, so we were okay. But if you put one in a short bed like this, I don't like giving up space. So it's one of those things where I would get it from the factory because it's in the frame, it's out of sight, you don't even mind it. I had the extended range in my F-150, and it was just awesome. And I heard some guys, they're getting that extended range tank in their diesels, and they're getting like 900 miles before they need to fill up, if they're driving carefully and everything, which is just pretty great. And it is an option, and I forgot to order that on the special order. Silly me, but nonetheless, especially on the gasser, I would love to see that as a standard option, just because you know, obviously this gets around, you know, 17 miles a gallon on the highway, but when we start pulling, that would be nice to have. Another first world problem, they light the console in here, but I would love to see a lit glove box over there, just because I do keep stuff in there that without turning on the map light or whatever, it's nice to be able to just reach over there and grab it, but then again, we can turn on the map light. And then last but not least, this is my wife's request, Ford, if it's not a work truck, please light the visors so she can check her eyelashes and whatever else ladies check in the mirror. But I'll admit, I would like that in some respects too, but I know a lot of other manufacturers, once you get above the work truck, you do get those in there, but again, that is a first world problem. So there is my list of things that I like a lot about this truck, and you know, Ford just really packages it pretty well, but then again, there's a lot of people there coming on here saying the Ford's crap. Well, maybe they do make some crap, and so does GM and so does Ford, but you know, all in all, I don't think anybody is out there trying to truly make a piece of trash so that way their customers are upset and drives them away. I don't think that that's anybody's intent, but I do understand that there's flaws in the way things get made and everything like that, and some things get missed, some things warp, some things break. That just is what it is. But that is my list of great things that I love about the 7.3 Godzilla, the 2022 F-250 or Super Duty series. Thanks guys, please do subscribe and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one.